Explorers, welcome to another exciting episode of Get Schooled. I'm Miss Danielle, and today we're going to be joining Daniel James as he learns about Flint knapping. Not napping, but napping with a K. We'll learn how early humans used rocks to create tools and how the rock cycle plays a part in this fascinating process. From making sharp tools for hunting and creating fire starters, rocks have been essential for survival. We'll discover how people shape these tools and how rocks transform through the rock cycle. Let's see what Daniel's up to. Hey Daniel, that's a lot of rocks.
Hi Explorers, I'm Daniel James, and today we are here in Ringley Park in Coburn, Virginia, where I'm told that we're going to be learning about napping. It's a subject that I know a lot about, but I feel like I can always learn more about. My friend Jeff is going to be joining us later, but until he does, I'm just going to practice, see how things go, and then when he shows up, we'll learn even more about it.
What are you doing, DJ?
Jeff, this is the ground floor of education. Do you want to join?
Well, I think we're going to be doing a different kind of napping.
Why?
Napping with a K.
Oh, okay. What is that exactly? This is not what we're doing today?
No,
Okay, what are we learning about?
we're going to be learning how to make stone tools.
Definitely not what I thought we were doing today. Okay, no, that's fine. I mean, if you want any of these, that's fine. Let's go. I say we go. Okay, so first things first, what is napping? Knapping or napping?
It's napping. It comes from a German word that was associated with the first gun flint makers.
So it seems like there's a lot of history wrapped around this too. How far back does this date?
Oh yes, it dates back to at least 3 million years.
Okay, so a little bit of time, and then over that time too, how has it changed or evolved?
The first tools were just simple flakes.
Wow, okay.
And then they evolved with different techniques to end up looking like this.
Wow, okay, so definitely different, a lot heavier too. It seems like the serrated edges are a lot more useful. What would these be used for?
This would be an arrow point, and this would probably be a spear point.
Okay. How did you learn a lot about this?
I read a book called Clan of the Cave Bear, and it got me interested in it because the author had actually done a lot of research and could give an accurate description of how to do it. I practiced and practiced, and I finally found a group at Sycamore Shoals, Fort Watauga, that taught napping, and I've been learning ever since.
So what's the point of napping?
Napping is to provide yourself tools or points. It makes a good sharp cutting edge. You can use that to cut cordage or scrape wood.
And then I noticed you have a lot of different variety over here of different, not only colors, but it looks like textures of rock too. Are there certain rocks that you can use and others that don't work as well?
Well, a lot of my rocks are like, here's flint, and here's a piece of obsidian.
Okay.
And then modern nappers can use such things as glass.
Wow, okay. And then what's the difference between a lot of these two, or why couldn't I just use like limestone or rocks that I can find on the side of the road?
Limestone doesn't have a high silica content. Any nappable stone would have a high silica content, which makes it more glass-like. Flint is more homogenized, pressure due to the Earth's crust.
So that's where a lot of these edges are able to be kept because it's able to break off, and that's, you're saying,
in
because
a clean manner, yes.
In a clean manner, but because of the silica.
Yes.
Okay, fascinating too. And then you were saying, what kind of rock is this?
This is a piece of glass.
It's just a straight piece of glass. Okay, so you can use multiple materials to be able to make these and form and shape them, but is there a certain skill set in terms of how you go about making them?
Yes, you have to use separate tools like antler and wood or stone to shape your napping point.
So out of all the stones that you're talking to me about too, which are ones that I can actually find nearby?
Well, the ones that are commonly found in Virginia are different types of chert.
Chert. Okay. And it feels very smooth on certain areas
Yes,
too.
very
but it does-
glass-like.
Yeah, okay. And then how would I use these materials? Would you be using ones to make certain things that are smoother and smaller, or pretty much any material you could use?
Pretty much anything I want to make out of it.
Okay, and what are all the things you've made out of this?
I've made arrow points, I've made knives, I've made scrapers, I've made axes.
And in the history of using these products, what were most of these materials used for? For like the indigenous folks in the area?
Well, the indigenous people would use them to make knives. They would use them as tools to help process food, help build their houses, to make their clothing, to hunt or defend themselves.
So how do we go about taking these raw materials and then turning into some of these items that you've created?
Well, DJ, if you'd like to, I can show you.
Thank you, yes, please.
Well, the first step in knapping
Is just banging rocks together, right?
No,
That actually
the
hurt.
first step will be putting your safety glasses on
Oh,
so you don't
right.
get anything in your eye.
Thank you, I appreciate that. All right.
The first step in knapping is to understanding the rock cycle, because not every rock is made the same.
Right, because at different times there's cooling and heating, and so that changes their composition, right?
Correct. Like this rock in particular, how it formed in limestone from intense pressure has made it homogeneous and much better to knap.
So that is very different than what I'm holding in my hand here.
Oh yes.
Okay, and then what do you call this?
This is called hornstone.
Hornstone, okay. And how many different types of stone are there?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Okay, so the ones we're dealing with are in a very specific grouping, and you said because they have a high silica content.
High silica content, they have a glassy texture.
And so that allows us then to get these sharp edges because of the high silica content.
Correct. Let me show you how.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a ridge on the core here. The force of my blow will follow that ridge and pop a flake off.
And when you say a ridge, can you point one out? Oh, okay, so all these lines that are going up. Okay, well, let's go ahead and try.
I have to prepare my platform. Then I'll use a piece of antler.
I think we got something over here.
Yes, something fell off.
So these are the pieces. Oh, wow.
This is the flake, sometimes called a spall.
Very cool, and can I see that?
Yes, sir, it's very sharp.
So it is, so all these edges could be able to cut any number of things too, right?
Oh, that's a usable tool. Some of the first tools were exactly like that, just flakes.
So now when you take these pieces off too, you said this was an early form. Over time, how would these have been improved upon?
They would have tried to thin them down, and in the process of resharpening them, they could run flakes across and make it better able to put on a handle or a shaft, like a spear shaft.
So is this something that I could try, or do you need to have a specific skill set? Are there only certain types of people, I guess, that would be able to do this?
No, anybody can try this. This flint knapping is as old as time. Everybody has an ancestor that knaps stone tools.
Okay, so this is tied in with pretty much all of human history.
Yes.
Has been making these early tools. And then can we go ahead and still use them today?
Yes, obsidian is still used in surgery because it cuts so fine it doesn't leave a scar.
And that's this guy right here.
Yes, the black.
And then where would you find obsidian?
The closest source of obsidian in the United States to Virginia is Yellowstone National Park.
Okay, so this isn't all over the country. You can't just find this in your
Yeah,
backyard.
it's only in volcanic areas.
Volcanic areas. Okay, because of the the extreme heating that causes it to form.
Yes, obsidian is an igneous rock
What does that mean?
formed in the internal heat of the earth.
Gotcha. Okay. So from the core of the earth, and then this becomes what helped us be able to engage with nature in terms of hunting, in terms of being able to prepare foods and using these tools.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Do you mind if I try?
Yes.
All right.
You'll see the little divot sticking out
Yeah, the ridge line there. Is that what you're talking
where
about?
your ridge line is. Yes, that's where it terminates.
Is there gold on there?
That's probably copper.
Copper. That's what I thought.
And you're going to take
Yep.
your stone and grind it.
Uh-huh. Now, why are we grinding? What does that do?
Flint, when it's broken, has a very thin, fine edge. If you were to hit that, it would crumble and break and waste the amount of energy you're going through the ridge.
Gotcha.
So you're stiffening it up a little bit.
Okay. So I've gotten a little bit of angle, and then where do I want to be able to put pressure?
You're going to take your antler and you're going to hit it right here.
Right there? Okay. All right, so this was just using another rock to be able to
To grind it off, to stiffen it up.
grind it off. All right, and then
then
in
you're
terms of
gonna-
this, do I want to hit at the fine point?
You're gonna aim for right here,
Yep.
and you're gonna follow through like you're throwing a baseball.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. You sure? I'll try it again. All right, let's see.
Aim a little closer to the edge.
Hit close to the edge. All right.
There
There
you
we go. Okay.
We'll set your core down on the ground.
Yep. And then what tells you whether or not that was a good flint or a good piece that broke off?
You got a pretty good sized flake here. We can knock some more flakes off of it to thin it down if you wanted to make a smaller tool. But this is usable as a knife or a scraper right now.
That sounds fantastic. So throughout the course of human history, we have had this relationship with the land of using these materials all the way from my ancestors and your ancestors to me today, thanks to Jeff, learning about how these rocks being heated at extreme temperatures and cooled come out to allow us to use tools that we can use in our everyday lives. Jeff, thank you so much for teaching us about this today.
Hey, thank you for coming and learning.
I appreciate that too, and learning is very tiring, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna go back to actually just napping without a K. If that's all right with you.